Kashari, 147 acres, allocated to 5 investors for the development of value addition projects. The Mbarara SME Park was officially handed back to operational, 6 constructing and 7 in pre-start stage. The feasibility study is being undertaken. In Kabarole, 502 acres, land availed in Chembogo by 3 institutions, Narrow 200 acres, Mountain of the Moon University 200, and Kabarole District Local Government 102. The District Council has passed a resolution to avail the land for industrial development. Chaka Chejegwa, 10 square miles, presidential directive to give part of Chaka 1 and Chaka 2 refugee camp to allocate 5 square miles to investors, adding value to avocado to make avocado oil for use in cosmetics and pharmaceuticals. Nbunyorohoi Makabarega, 29.57 square kilometers, which is an equivalent of 7,000 acres. Kabarega Industrial Park is being managed by UNOC. The land is specialized petrochemical industrial park. Masindi Agri Park, 20 square miles, allocated by 6 investors, 3 operational, 2 constructing, and 1 in the pre-start stage of land is being partially serviced with all the infrastructure land titles available to Investment Authority. In Chijandongo, 6 square miles, allocated to Agile's Properties Uganda Limited, growing mainly maize, sunflower, and soybean. Land is fully serviced with the infrastructure. In total, Mr. Chairman, this comes to approximately 45,739.46 thousand acres. Mr. Chair, I beg to submit. Annex 2 shows key developments in the industrial park, jobs and capital investment, and Annex 3 shows operational status of established region.
Questions, clarifications, and anything that you do want. Honorable Secretary.
Thank you very much. The hindrances.
No, before I through you, Chair, what is the issue?
I have
mentioned
yes, the 2
private industrial parks.
Yes.
So what is
the arrangement you went through to have such in what I'm trying to mean.
What is the
arrangement?
Yes. The relationship.
In relationship with the government.
How does someone find themselves on that
government arrangement?
Yeah.
2, you've also noted that one of the hindrances is the lack of feasibility study as you are trying to initiate such arrangement. My question is, the government does not have enough technical team to do the work, resources, or where you go for feasibility study, there are challenges. Because you can't go to invest the taxpayers' money without a clear feasibility study, which just makes a backfire. And at least at the end, we are seeing losses. So I want you also to throw my light about that. Then 3, you have said budgetary constraints. Budgetary constraints, because you know the background of this idea up to its inception. Now, if you have budget constraints, which measures have you put in place? Because now what I'm seeing, most of the land is just free. And the infrastructure, as you're talking about, the roads, electricity, is a problem. So you have free land, acres and acres. And I think toward this May, instead of this land to be invested for proper purpose, people are just owning it on an individual basis to have their own businesses. That's why I have a problem. When you talk about Uganda Investment Authority, we have also many questions. As you recall, last week, on the floor Parliament, a lot was stated as a challenge with Uganda Investment Authority, which you work with. So the budgetary constraints, you also need to at least give a clear picture how and why.
Okay. Let us hear from the
allocations for the infrastructure development and the funds so far realized, funds so far spent, which we do not have. I would have expected that as the Minister for Finance, who actually releases the funds, you should be able to tell us that. The other issue is about Renzori Kasese. You talk about 216 acres, allocation to 15 investors, 2 operational, 6 constructing, 7 in pre-start stage. But in new Annex 3, on the operational status of the regional industrial and business parks, Kasese has nothing to do with acreage, nothing to do with number of investors, no operational projects, nothing really for Kasese. Yet in the statement, it is indicated. I would like to know exactly what is happening there. Yes. Then on the Chaka, Chegegwa, the 10 square miles and the presidential directive to give part of the Chaka 1, Chaka 2 refugee camps, I would like to know if that land is given away, the refugee camps. What about the refugees? What is the arrangement for them? Where do they go? The other is about Ankole. On Ankole, you say that they have 5 square miles, about 3,200 acres of land that was offered by His Excellency the President. Honorable Minister, I would like to know, was this land personal? Because on the rest you indicate, was this land personal? Was it the President's land, as in him, personal land, or he gave out public land? Because it is different when you say presidential directive. It is not his personal land. When you say land offered by the President, did he offer personal land?
Land offered by the Senate.
And Chaka 2, which is in Chegegwa. It is different from land being offered by the President. So if he had directed, I would also have seen it was a presidential directive. But you say he offered. So we need to understand if he offered personal land for that development. Then I want to know in Mwende, the 10 square miles, 6,400 acres, allocated to Kaweri Coffee Plantation Limited, which is fully operational and doing all that. And this was a government assurance of 2021. But this Kaweri Coffee Plantation has been in existence for a while. I do not know if there is any other land that has been offered for this kind of work, or you simply wrote it is part of the project, because Kaweri Coffee has been in existence before 2021 when this assurance was given. At least I'm aware of that. And finally, the finally was about what you didn't give us regarding finances. As the Minister for Finance, we would have expected that you tell us how much money was budgeted for, how much has been released, how much has been spent, how much more we need. Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Joyce. Honorable Binji. We are going to have another bout of questions, but before that, let me also ask, I'm seeing a trend, resolutions on land that belongs. And one time, I saw the President also giving away land of Naro at Namulong. What is the government policy on this land? Because, first of all, do the districts have power to reallocate land that belongs to national research organization, so that they give it away to this kind of work? We want to know what is the policy. And I'm also seeing from what you have given us, are farms industries? Because we asked you here, we expect information on the industrial business parks, but you are giving us information on farms also. Because I'm seeing Chaka, 5 square miles, are those industries, or this is a farm of ash avocado? We are going to hear from you, because whether these are industries of ash avocado or it's a farm of ash avocado. Even the land in Chiriandongo that you are calling the allocation of the business park in Chiriandongo, is it a farm for maize, or is it a business, an industry? Because we don't want to confuse farms and industries. This assurance for us, we are following on the industry parks, but I'm beginning to see the farms. And again, to add on what Honorable Joyce said, Ono Isingiro, the president cannot give unless he has given his own land. We want to know that directive was land from where to where. Because yes, if it is not, yes.
The minister's statement is very clear, Chair. Number 1, on the directive, because they did it very well. Part of Chaka 1 and Chaka 2. So this is a presidential directive, and this is where we will need the evidence of the directive to look at it and understand it is a directive. But on this one, in Isingiro, it says land offered by His Excellency the President.
Yeah, because if it is land offered by His Excellency the President, we want to know that that was his land. And we want to prove that the President gave land to Uganda for us to establish a business. Then we will be very happy for that generosity. So we expect proof that President Museveni had land in Isingiro, 3,200 acres, 5, and he gave them to Uganda. Yes. Later on, we will know how that land belonged to him. Yes. More industrial park. I'm aware that at one time you were allocated land on Bukakata Road. I'm also aware that at one time you allocated land in Sango Bay. How comes that there is no consideration for Greater Masaka? Even I'm told now, even Greater Mwende, because Kaweri is just a farm. And it has been in existence. It has been a farm. So we want to know whether when you are looking at these enterprises, you are interested in issues of equity. On Chiso's land, why is it that you are finding problems in getting a land title from the State House controller? That land has been under State House. The Chisos, we want to know, because you have said that you may find that it is Chisos from somewhere. Chisos of where? They will tell us, because we are seeking information. They will give us the details. Why is it that this State House controller, why is it that you are finding difficult in getting that land title from Chisos. And then for Northern, you are allocating the park to per day. Is it per day? Is it because it's central? Is it because that's a place where you have got land? Because on the floor of Parliament, we listened to the members of Parliament from Northern Uganda, and they are claiming that there is land in other areas like a Gulu. Why are you running to per day, where the infrastructure is not yet developed? Why not Gulu City, near Gulu City, so that you can service that area? Because that is very, very key for us. And the Honorable Minister, in addition to the issues of the budgetary allocation, we want to hear what you are spending on each business park, those which are already in development. What are you spending on each of them? And then, lastly, for now, how far are we with the infrastructure of Namangala in terms of roads? Because that was, I think, a loan. We want this committee would be interested to know how far are we in terms of developing the infrastructure of Namangala. It's a very important business park since it is in the center here of the economy. We want to know, and that money came to you long ago. If you have any supplementary
titles in places where you have issues with land. But I'd also like to know who are the shareholders of Gatsby Group that is going to be given freehold land. Then, who are the parties to the court case in Moroto Napak? And specifically, what is the conflict about? Because you stated that there's a court case. Who are the parties and what is the conflict about? Apart from the other documents that I asked for, the copies of the presidential directives, I also think that this committee can be availed with the cabinet approvals relating to operationalization of these parks. I think that's it for now.
Okay, and last, before I go to the minister, I know that you have someone from Investment Authority. I just want to know the policy on these parks. In Namangala, you had the policy, I don't know whether it is still the same policy. You were giving pieces of land at $80,000. Uganda Veterinary Association deposited 40,000. And after, you claimed that they had failed because of the lack of 40. You reallocated that piece to another person. But you also took the money, the 40,000 that had been deposited. You did not only take the money, but also they had started developing in terms of preparing the ground. They had spent money. You refuse to give them opportunities so that the new investor will pay them. I just want to hear from you, what is the current policy on those pieces of land? Honorable Minister.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. On the budget numbers, both the current and also the projections, because you realize there is where we don't have feasibility studies, there it was in writing. since it was not brought to my attention early, and these are issues of numbers, I don't want to be taken on. I want to be sure of what I am providing to you, Mr. Chairman.
When will you provide them?
Today is Thursday. Thursday, tomorrow, Friday, Wednesday next week.
Okay, that's fine, because there are several other things that you may need to bring forward to us in writing.
What is delaying processing of titles? Money. We don't have adequate funds to process all these titles at once, because there is titling, opening boundaries, and also other aspects involved. KPK belonged to cooperatives, I don't know that. Me, what I know is that we have a private park in KPK, and it has changed the economy around, that place. And also, yesterday I was in Mitiana, Mubende. I passed through Burenga and other towns which have mushroomed nearby. I see goodwill. All this is Kapeka. For me, as the economic manager, that is my major interest. Is this industrial park transforming the economy of Uganda? That is, you have just come. Let me first respond to it.
Do you have a title for Kafeka?
For?
A title? Because
It
government
is private. I don't own it. It's a private
Is
park.
what
I
is-
own the service it. I must give them electricity, water, sewerage, and
At a
all these
subsidized
facilities they
cost.
need. Yes. Yes, I own the service.
restored the land. Then government is also help. No.
Can we know the exact numbers? 23, 25, 44. Godfrey, please explain this.
Thank you, Honorable Minister and Honorable members. Chair, as you've heard from my Minister, Cabinet approved a mechanism for developing industrial parks across the entire country, and we mobilized land from local governments. So Ministry of Finance wrote to all local governments who could raise at least a minimum of 500 acres on which government can plan to develop industrial parks. But of course, not everybody can raise 500 acres. They offered whatever they had. So what we are doing here is to recognize that this land is available for industrialization, but in terms of government policy, we are supposed to develop industrial parks on 500 acres minimum. And when you look at this list, there are about 27. And of course, this has to be done sequentially, given the capacity of the economy. And that's why, in conclusion, the minister has said we are now working on an integrated strategy for developing these industrial parks. Because once we have that strategy, we can use it also to mobilize financing. And then over the NDP4, we plan to have a different strategy where we can now move in and attract investors, and even where possible through PPPs, we can partner with different developers to try and fast track. The minimum acreage required for an industrial park is 500 acres, but districts gave us land and we are recognizing it.
No. It's not about recognizing, because recognizing is different from you allocating this land to investors. For instance, in Muzira, it is 70 acres and it is here documented. And you're saying it is allocated to 13 investors, 11 are fully operational, 1 constructing, and 1 in pre-start stage. So if you are talking about simply recognizing is different from the actual work going on. And these are 70 acres, and you're talking about 500 acres. My thinking is, the minister also talked about having inadequate funding. And here are about 41 industrial parks. And some of them are not operational because there's no money. Why can't you operationalize the ones that government actually promised? But also when you talk about 500 acres, that's where you start from. And there's 70, there's even 50, and it is allocated to 10 investors, and there's 20 allocated. I mean, no, this is a misrepresentation.
Chair, she's right. The honourable member is right, but you will note that this is prior to this budget that we are talking about. Before 2022, we already had those small parks, but now we've come up with a new strategy. First of all,
no, that's the thing that we're talking about. It is okay for us to have had other parks before this assurance. But now what we are following up on is this assurance, because we don't want that government actually implemented the assurance, yet in real sense, we are talking about parks that already existed. That's why when the minister presented Mubende, this Kaweri coffee plantation, which I know very well as someone who comes from Greater Mubende, I said this is wrong. It is not part of the government assurance. So the government cannot say that they established an industrial park in Mubende when this already existed.
Chair, we have 23 and we have 25. And we have presented 41. Can we shift so that we understand what we are talking about? Because what we have here, there are 41 industrial parks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I was avoiding a situation, and then you take me to what I have not brought. Now, since I have brought more, we can do a matrix. Say, Namangala was already in existence. The one of Mubende is in existence. The one of which Soro is an assurance. The one of Moroto, like that. So we could do that. Making the members get to know this information is not a bad idea, because all these are interventions which government has done over the years. And
that is fine, Honorable.
Yes,
you can move ahead.
Mr. Chair, by way of moving ahead, there is a question about our farms, factories. I think so. Because if someone is in manufacturing, you need the raw material. You have a factory and you need the land to grow the raw material. And in so doing, the land becomes what? A farm becomes a factory. Investment is a holistic intervention. If you are an investor in, for instance, milk processing, you need the milk, and the milk comes from the farm.
You are right, Honorable Minister, that, first wait, please. You are right, but a farm park, because the word is park, we expect other industries there. So the land that you are allocating or where you are interested, it must be land that houses many industries, not just I don't know whether your policy says you allocate it to an individual. The moment an individual goes into farming, that cannot be an industrial park. That is a farm. That should be the work of Ministry of Agriculture, for people who are looking for land to do agriculture.
Godfrey is an expert in industrial park development.
Yes,
We can benefit from his experience.
Yeah, Chair.
Changing idea because
Yes,
that's why I have concern. It's my concern. Hey.
the previous issue, the minister, and we appreciate that. But we will take our time to sift through the exact industrial parks that we need. But we want to hear from him what constitutes an industrial park.
Thank you, Chair. An industry that we are promoting. So under Uganda Investment Authority, we have both business parks, but also agricultural industrial parks. Like in Lumuvende, there is an industrial park there where actual investors are attracted even to do farming. There's one doing sugarcane. There's Kazire doing this knowledge economy-based industries. So we have both agricultural and non-agricultural industrial parks, where you go into manufacturing, but also where you can now go into producing raw material. Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
Namangala, I said we are at 50%, but it is better if you want to appreciate Namangala, Mr. Chairman. It is better we go and you see by your eyes. It's a huge project which we are all looking up to, and I would feel happy if colleagues would come and see by your eyes what we are doing at Namangala. We are opening roads. Namangala, no, 2,200 acres. It's a government park. It is the largest park we have.
Honorable Minister, this committee, after interfacing with you, will have an opportunity to visit.
The other day, the city is very happy. People no longer come to Chikubo to load people buy from the Mbale market, and yes, Mbale. These are facts. These are realities. So they buy from Mbale and straight away export to Sudan, South Sudan and other markets, even Kenya and the others. So, Mr. Chair, it is important, since we are a government assurance committee, and above all being members of parliament, national leaders, you need to appreciate how your economy is being supported to grow. I think, Mr. Chair, this is what we can respond to now.
We wanted to know Greater Masaka.
Greater Masaka, if we get the land, we can go there. You asked about equity.
Yes.
This is not politics. We are in a business. If there is an opportunity in Masaka, even if there are 100, we shall grab them. Because we are really in business. You want to invest wherever there is opportunity.
But Honorable Minister, I'm aware that you are allocated land on Bukakatra Road. The Uganda investment must have it in their books. The investment authority must have it in their books. You are allocated.
Were they selling? We want free land.
No, they were not selling. First of all, this is public land.
So what?
This is public land.
Please, this is an MP from the area.
Yes, I'm from there.
Please respond. Give us what happened.